Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Mekka. Today I will be filming with a new palette of mine because I just bought the SOSU by Suzanne X Clay Makeup. I don't know if you say clay or C.L.E or whatever, but he's a professional makeup artist from Great Britain, I believe, and I already do have the blue and green and purple version of this palette. I'll just get it open so you can see the inside. This is more of a neutral warm palette, but as you can see it has some beautiful colors in it. It has a this one is not completely red, but it's a reddish color, and then it's a bright pink, a coral one, a yellow, and then you have two shimmers here, one that I will try to use for my cheek as my cheek highlight, and then we have a gold shimmer and two browns. So this one is a little bit more cool toned and darker, and this is a bit warm toned. So I will just go ahead and swatch them for you guys, and then I'll get ahead with my eyeshadow look right after. Okay, so here we have the swatches from the whole palette, and I think I'll just tell you the names. So the first white shimmer is called Purity, then we have the golden shimmer, which is called King. The lighter, more warmer brown is called Cliché, and then we have Wipe, which is the darker brown. Then it's the reddish one, but it seems like it has quite a pink undertone. It's called Punch. Then the bright pink is called Not Your Bailey. We have the peachy one, which is called Peach Days, and the bright yellow is called Lemon Squeeze. So I do like the color story. I feel like you can make some neutral looks here if you like that, but also some really bright sunsetty looks. So this one is quite versatile considering it's just 8 shades, so I do really like it. But for me personally, I don't really need more than one brown, but I think they're fine. I would have maybe had a pop of color for shimmer as well, but I like the color story in general, so let's just get on to this look. I believe what I will start with is just to try to use Purity as my highlight. I don't know if it will be a little bit too dark, but we'll see. It does pick up very easily on the brush though. So I'll just apply it as my cheek highlight. I see that I forgot to put on blush, so I'll just go ahead and do that before I go in with the highlight. So that's a lot better with a little bit of color in my face. And I think this is actually a perfect shade for highlighting for me. But I do see that it's not melting into the skin, but I mean the formula itself seemed quite nice. So I'm guessing if I just use some setting spray on top of this and then add a little bit more in the end, I think this will be really pretty, because I like to have a very smooth highlight, but I mean, as you can see on the camera, it's really blinding and beautiful, but it's not like way too much, I feel like. Honestly, I don't really know what I'm going to do today, but I mean, it's Valentine's when I'm filming this. I don't know really when I'm going to put this up because I'm going to Mexico and I'm not sure if I will be able to edit it before that, and I have pre-filmed a lot. But at least right now I'm going to use the shade Punch. So since it's Valentine, maybe I will just do a more warm look. And I'm just pushing in the brush, not really lifting it a lot. As you can see, I'm making these tiny motions. It's just to catch whatever fallout might come. And it seems to be quite pigmented, but I see that the shadow, which I will zoom in a little bit, the shadow doesn't really stick exactly in my crease, which is a problem I have with several different eyeshadow formulas, but maybe it will work if I just keep on packing it on there. So it does seem to even out once I have packed on a little bit more. And I do think that I want to use the peach shade right here, but I'll just go ahead and use the exact same brush, but just do both of my eyes simultaneously, just because that's how I feel like I get the most even eye looks, just because if not I might not remember what kind of steps I did, and it might turn out a little bit different, so that's just how I prefer to do it. As you can see, I'm like whisking the brush back and forth just to like smoke out the edges a little bit, because even though I might go in with a transition shade, it's what I prefer, just to have a nice transition between the two colors, make a gradient. I don't really think I would need a transition shade though, because as you can see, it blends out quite nicely. I feel like the peach shade is really beautiful and pigmented, but I feel like it kind of also washed out the pink one. And the reason why I'm going quite far up now is because I'm trying to do something new, because I always see that I have quite a lot of space right here between my eyeshadow and my eyebrow. So I'm just trying to like take advantage of that space instead of like ending my eyeshadow too early. But I think I might actually go in with one of the browns just to deepen it up a little bit. But I mean, I could just leave it like this too. It's just, I like a deeper look. Right now I'm just trying to build up that red a bit, but I think I'll just go in with the darkest shade here called Vibe. And I'm just using the same brush, not even cleaning it. And then we'll see if these build nicely on each other, because usually I always go in with the darkest shade first and not last, because often shadows won't really stick that well to the eyelid if you already put down something, because I always use a tacky base, and now I'm actually using a new base. I'm using the Urban Decay primer potion in the shade Free Base, the white one, just because I like a little bit of highlight underneath my brow bone and I'm so pale, so I'll have to have a white shade in order to have a highlight. I mean, it is building up, but I feel like it would have been way darker if I went in with the brown shade first. But I mean, it does work this way as well, but I think you would have way more impact with this brown shadow if you use it first. What I usually do is I always try to go in with some translucent powder, just because if I do have a tacky base, I don't want the eyeshadow to grip onto it too high up, because I do like to have some space underneath my eyebrow, even though I'm trying not to have that much now. And it also just helps to blend the edges of the eyeshadow, because then you're basically going in with a translucent powder and blending out the shadow. So that's what I like to do. So now I think I just want to I'll just go in with the red shadow again, just to intensify it, because obviously when you go over with another shade, you are going to take a little bit of the other shade away. So I'm just like building that a little bit on top here. And then I will be going in with the peachy shade, Peach Days, and just try to like blend the edges a little bit more. I just feel like I have some patchiness here, and I don't really know why, because I didn't feel like I applied eyeshadow right there, but maybe it just stuck a little bit to the skin. I'll just do the same with my other eye and see if it happens there too, but I think it was my fault and not the shadows, honestly, so we'll just see. Okay, I seriously don't really know what's happening here. It might just be the texture of my eye, but I feel like it looks patchy. I don't know why. Anyway, it doesn't really look that bad in real life. It's just in the monitor I see just a patch here. I don't know. I'm just going to continue doing my makeup, I think I will just go ahead and use a small blending brush. I will just be using my Kaleidos Makeup S5 brush. I just have to clean it in my color switch, and then I'm actually just going to use the dark brown right here, and I'm just going to apply that very close to the lower lash line and slightly connect it up here, and then I will use the yellow to blend it out just to get a little more color in this look. So that is my finished look using the Bare and Boujee eyeshadow palette by C.L.E Makeup, and I do really like the shadows in here, especially the peachy one was probably my favorite shade, and I just imagine like a really beautiful look using just these and maybe just using glitter or pigment from outside the palette. I think that would be really pretty. And I also did like the light shimmer for my cheek. I feel like it's really blinding and stunning. And the shimmers in general, they do look really pretty on the eye as well. And I did have some issues with the red shadow, but I'm quite sure it was my mistake because I don't really feel like there's any pastiness whatsoever right here. But I do feel like there's some brown or something here. I don't know if there was something left on my brush, but I did use my color switch, but it's not always that it takes away everything, so maybe there was something left on my brush because it just looks a little bit like warmer brown right here. But I don't know. In general, I did like all of the shadows, and I do like the color scheme, and yeah, the formula I already know that I like because I have already got the other palette, the blue-green palette, which is like one of the best blue-green palettes I think I have. It just blends really beautiful, so do make sure to check out that palette as well if you think this one looks nice. So I actually have to go and run right now because I start at work in less than an hour. So I hope you liked this look and that it was helpful to like see the swatches and see how they performed on my eye. And yeah, just leave a comment down below what you think of it, if you have this palette yourself or if you want it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Thanks for watching. Bye!